Passport brothers when BW said that they're divesting.
Well, I don't think we should see each other anymore.
Oh, that's okay.
What's going on, guys? So this is 2023, and we live in an era that maybe even our grandparents couldn't imagine because we live in an open marketplace. And this is especially the case when it comes to dating. We can date whom we like based on whom we can attract in the dating marketplace. That is the only limiter to whom we can date. And so when we're dating in this kind of environment, we have to do away with old rules saying certain people can't date this way, certain people can't date this way, because it is an open marketplace.
Black women do not date out of their race enough, and God, please release my sisters from the shackle of only dating Black men. I feel like it's time for us to explore our options. It's way more of life to see, way more experiences to have.
It's unfortunate that this young lady is feeling restriction because, at least in my part, I don't want her to feel any restriction from me. I think that in 2023, if you can attract the guy that you want, you should be able to date whom you like. And I encourage more and more people to think that way. As a matter of fact, the premise of Passport Bros is that I have a market value. I'm going to go where I can get what I want for my market value. I think that in 2023, Black women, white women, Asian women, whatever women we're talking about, should feel the freedom to do exactly the same thing.
I've noticed that women are demanding so much more from men. Like, they have taken time to heal themselves. They're no longer accepting the bare minimum. Like, you actually have to bring value in order to even speak to a woman or for her to even give you the time of day. And a lot of men are hurt by that. I'm not quite sure why. I feel like once a man like smells or sees that you know your worth, he immediately tries to humble you.
This is the same lady from the first TikTok, and she's speaking of the idea that there are many men that bring the bare minimum to the table. But unfortunately for her, she has to understand that in a global dating marketplace, a man that's making a comparable salary to her in first world country, that might be what, $45,000, $50,000, $55,000, is going to be in the upper percentile in the world. And so what has to be remembered is that we are in a global dating marketplace, at not only in just being able to travel, but people traveling to America, traveling to the West. And so there can't be old rules for a new marketplace. So I'm listening to Mr. Z, shout out to Mr. Z, by the way, and he's talking about this tweet from a very popular YouTuber saying, a Black woman marrying a white man is not the same as a Black man marrying a white woman. I don't know why this is even a debate. So we're not even allowed to debate the fact that they're not the same. And these are old order thinking rules from an old order dating system where it was taboo for Black people to date out, or specifically Black men, because it was dangerous. But now in a new order of dating, we're still hearing these kind of old order rules being floated around. And this is Mr. Z's response to it.
This type of rhetoric, it's good that we see this. So we're hearing this type of rhetoric about don't compare what we do to what you do, because even though we're doing the same thing, when I do it, once again, it's one of those, when I do it, it's because I had no choice. I searched long and far and wide for a good Black man, but you remember, Black men ain't ish, so I couldn't find a good one.
So he's talking about the fact that there's a double standard where when we hear a lot of young ladies lament that they can't find a good Black man, and on the other side, it's if you are a Black man and you are having the same issues, it's a guy problem, which you'll get to.
But when you date out, once again, remember what we're saying. When Black men marry out, it's because Black men ain't ish. Black men don't value Black women when they marry out. That's why they married out. When Black women marry out, it's because they had no choice. They tried to be loyal to Black men. They tried. Right? This is before we even talk about the numbers and how even if every Black single man was with every black single woman, then there would be 2 million more black women. Before we even get to that, you got to understand, when black men marry out, it's because they're losers. They're looking for easy. They don't want to be with a black woman, right?
Now, these are all arguments that we've heard about passport bros, have we not? Passport bros need to get more game. They're socially awkward, whatever it is, and these mirror what Mr. Z is saying.
Right? They're running from black women. They're colorist. They're sexist towards black women. Misogynoir, right? They've fallen for the European beauty standard.
I've heard that too.
Right? But when a black woman marries a white man, she's made a very hard choice. She would rather be with a black man, maybe, right? Or she's making a very cold and calculated choice. The white man is more loving, don't you know? And he earns more money, don't you know? And unlike the black man, the white man values this black woman's beauty, particularly a dark-skinned black woman, don't you know?
Now, he makes a good point there, but as a passport bro, I would say that if you find a man that's more loving, by all means, that's the man that you should be with. But we kind of have this double standard that he's speaking to, and I want you to hear the rest of it.
So that's Dr. Jennifer Lundquist and Dr. Chantel Bugs. Don't mind any of the data coming from them in their independent research that shows that actually women of color, that includes black women, respond, at least online, to white men first, and then men of their own races, and then men of their own prospective races, because it's not just black women.
He makes the point, and it's pretty clear that maybe even in black dating, for a lot of young ladies, even black men aren't their first choice. So in a globalized dating marketplace, the true answer is to go after your first choice and be with that person, because now you have the freedom to do it. And so do men, without the double standards. And now for the juicy part. And this is why passport bros shouldn't feel any shame. And Mr. Z is going to break this down so well. Just take a listen.
Everyone knows it's a status climb. Just admit it. Y'all trying to be with, and it's not just other men outside of the black community, non-black men. No. It's specifically white men, because it's a status climb. Black women are using intersectionality. The black women like Kim are using intersectionality to say, well, we're on the bottom, we're black and we're women. And the only way for us to be, air quotes, equal in this society is to be with white men, particularly good looking and rich white men. If women take on the status of their men, of their husbands, of their partners, then a black woman who is deemed in this society as a double minority because she's black and a woman, if a white man is to take her on, then guess what that means? That elevates her status. Just admit that's what y'all on.
He's basically saying that we know that the reason why, even on dating apps, that the first choice for a lot of young African-American women is not even African-American men, is white men. And if that's what you want, he's explaining the reason behind it. But my point is, if that's what you really want, don't worry about the passport bros. You shouldn't worry about the passport bros. We're not the guys you want anyways. So what Mr. Z is basically saying, especially in terms of passport bros, is that we're not your first choice anyways. So we should barely be on the radar for a lot of young ladies who might want to date men that are just not us. So we should not see stuff like this anymore.
Oh my God! Hey yo! I dare you with your gay ass. Oh my God! I dare you. What you trying to be on? What you trying to be on? I'm on whatever you want. I'll beat you the fuck up. What you trying to be on? If you really fuck Billy, what you trying to be on? It's whatever. I'm trying to be on. Somebody know it. One thing, and I'm gonna rock your shit. Rock your shit again.
Of course, I don't know what caused this altercation. I don't know what triggered the situation, but I do want to show you the comments, because you can see how it's captioned. When they catch a passport bro trying to fly overseas, it might be taken out of context, but the reactions are genuine. Even while flying, Passport Bros can't escape. And that's why Passport. I see why he's trying to fly away. Passport Bros for life. You can slice this conversation any way you want to in terms of some people are going to stay where they are and date interracially. Some people might choose not to date, and some people may choose to date overseas. But what has to stop is these old double standards where a black woman marrying a white man is not the same as a black man marrying a white woman. These are, it's not being a debate. Even saying that you can't debate this simple fact defies logic.
I feel like times have really changed, and this whole submissive dynamic needs to go with the past times.
Just like she said, past rules are for past times. Black women can date whom she likes. Same for a black man. And there's a growing number of black men who will not only encourage it, but applaud it. You are free. You can date whom you like. And if that is the person that you can attract, more power to you. 2023, we are in a different age. Find the man, the woman, the person that makes you the happiest and gives you the best opportunity at living your life happily. That's all we owe each other. That's it. Marry whom you like because we are in a free society. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.